guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to talk to you guys today because y'all know I'm pregnant. I just feel like I in general didn't update you guys at all, didn't tell you guys how I was feeling and everything, and a lot of you guys have been asking me like, how was the first trimester, how are you feeling right now, how many weeks are you? I've been kind of updating you guys on the vlogs, but the vlog channel, what I have posted right now was kind of like in the first trimester, and I really had only vlogged when I found out, told my family, and my first ultrasound. That was like all I posted in my first trimester because honestly I really did want to really enjoy my first trimester to myself, and obviously I didn't want to announce till I was in the second trimester. And yeah, I just wanted to like get ready and chat with you guys and just tell y'all all of it. I really hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get ready. Okay, so I already have the eyes primed. I'm actually gonna use the Becky G palette. I was actually using her mirror because it's like detachable. It's actually pretty cool. So you guys, I'm just gonna jump right in and talk to you guys about my pregnancy because I really feel like I didn't update you guys at all with anything. So basically I went ahead and like uploaded finding out, telling my family, and my first trimester, my first ultrasound. Before I got pregnant, I really thought I was gonna be the person to be vlogging everything, you know, for memories and stuff. And once I actually was pregnant, like I was actually really enjoying every minute of it to myself, and I didn't mind it. I did not mind probably not the camera. I just really wanted to enjoy it to myself, you know what I mean? So I wasn't actually updating you guys how I was actually physically feeling, what I went through, girl, because I think in general I had a tough first trimester. Not extreme, I don't want to say extreme because I've heard some crazy stories, but I had my moments where I was like, I just want to feel normal. Leading up to my pregnancy, obviously I was trying since 2019, which some people don't know, some people do know. And in the beginning, you know, I was like, I just expected. I think a lot of people just assume that once you start trying, you're gonna immediately get pregnant. I feel like a lot of people might think like that. And honestly, I feel like it is like that for some people. They just try one time and boom. But for me, that was not the case. I was trying and trying and trying, and I was like, okay. I did not get impatient, but I just started kind of questioning my body. Brian even at some point was questioning his body. My periods were really off, so a lot of times it was a couple days off. Sometimes it was like literally weeks off. So my periods were very irregular. That already told me that something was up. I was probably not ovulating the days I thought, and my sister would always tell me like, just get ovulation strips, and I would be like, yeah, I'll get to it, and I never did. I just kind of was just like, you know what, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I think this is like a pink shadow. I guess we're gonna have to mix different colors. In March, I got my period, and that was the last period I got in March. And I did not know when was my period. So every time I would mark the times I got my period, just because even though I know my periods were a little bit irregular, I honestly just low-key wanted to know when I ovulated. Even though I kind of knew my ovulation was a little off, I had a feeling. And aside of that, I just like to track my period in general, I think, because they are so off, it just makes it a little bit more helpful. That time, I remember I was like, I'm gonna mark my period. Because that was literally the routine for every single month. Like, I've been tracking my period for years, you guys. Like, even before I was trying. So this was the first time where I was like, something in me, I don't know why. Was it God? I don't know, but I just didn't do it. And I had told myself months ago that I had stopped trying. Everybody told me like, once you stop trying, that's when it will happen. So months before that, I kind of didn't pay attention. Kind of did, kind of didn't. Like, I was still low-key look at the days that I was ovulating, and I was like, ooh, like hopefully I get pregnant. Obviously that didn't happen till I decided to not track my period that month. So that month I was like completely clueless. I didn't even know what day I was ovulating. So girl, let me tell you, I kind of had to guess the day that I think was it. And I actually think it was, I want to say like a couple days before Karina's baby shower. And I only remember this day because it was like, we did it twice that day, y'all. And I really think it was that day. Like, I really think. And I was probably ovulating that day because eventually when I found out I was pregnant, I had to really guess because I wanted to know, you know, an estimate of how far along I was. I was remembering, I'm like, I did this day, so it was a couple days before this. That's the only way I figured out like what day was I possibly ovulating, and I just thought I was like taking a wild guess. I'm like, I'm gonna be off, whatever. My first ultrasound, I go, and from what I thought I was exactly that. So I literally think I guessed the exact day, which is so crazy. Like, it is just so crazy. So when people tell you that when you stop trying, like, I really believe that, because that time I really completely, I was just clueless. Like, I was completely clueless as to when I was ovulating, when I was even getting my period and all of that. Like, I'm telling y'all, it was, I think leading up to finding out, it was just so confusing in general, because I really didn't know when was my last period or anything. It was like a hot mess. I knew I was a little bit late, like I just knew it, because I'm like, I haven't had a period in a minute, but I just didn't know like how late it was. I was just kind of assuming, you know? Girl, I don't know what I'm doing to my eyes. Like, I got pink up in here, I got brown. I don't know what's going on. Also, another thing, you guys, I get like really out of breath right now, and then my back's like hurting. I'm like, girl, what is going on? Like, I'm barely 16 weeks as of today, you guys. I'm 16 weeks, I'm 4 months. Oh my God. So I actually announced to you guys when I was 14 weeks exact. So every single Monday I turned an extra week, and I feel like that's like such a great way to start the week, huh? Like, I feel like it's just like new week, literally. Y'all, this, y'all need this. This is from Amazon. I'm actually gonna link it down below. I kind of want to do a video of like pregnancy must-haves. I'm sure along the way there's gonna be a lot more things I discover, but I think before I give birth, I really want to do a video of like pregnancy must-haves, because this is a must-have right now. So leading up to finding out, y'all, like, I was feeling all the symptoms. So I think when I was like around 4 weeks, I feel like I felt that I was pregnant. Like, randomly, I remember telling Brian, I was like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I think I'm pregnant. And I say that because, you know, we start feeling our best when we think we're pregnant. At least for me, that's how I thought. So I've felt this before. So when I told Brian, like, I think I'm pregnant, I really meant it. So then a couple more weeks passed by, okay? This is probably when I'm like 6 weeks. I went from feeling sore breast to completely feeling normal again. I'm like, you know what? Like, it's probably just, I'm gonna get my period. So it is what it is. Like, every other month I get my hopes up. Why am I even thinking I'm pregnant? I kind of just went on with my life, literally. I went from thinking I was pregnant to like, no, I'm not pregnant. And I'm not the kind to like take pregnancy tests a lot. Like, I've literally only taken 3 pregnancy tests in my life. So even though I was trying, I would eventually get my period. I didn't want to get my hopes up taking a pregnancy test and then feeling disappointed. I was just avoiding it. I'm like, I'm not. Like, why am I gonna go through a whole pregnancy scare, or not scare, but you know what I mean? Why am I gonna go through all of that? My back is hurting. I want to say after the 2 weeks, I start feeling really off. I'm getting like nausea. I'm having like these mad headaches, you guys, where I cannot even ignore. I even told myself, if I do not come out pregnant, something's wrong with me. I have COVID, something. The funny thing is, anytime I thought I was pregnant before that, I would never tell anybody, because I'm like, well, you know, if I am, I wouldn't want to ruin this like surprise. But I went through so many, I think, times where I thought I was pregnant, that this time around I'm like, I'm tripping out. Like, let me just tell my family for fun that I think I'm pregnant. Like, not for fun, but you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really put much thought into it. I was like, like, I think I'm pregnant. I literally told Karina, I told my mom, I told my brother, I told my husband. Like, everybody at this point was just waiting, like, girl, are you pregnant? This is why a lot of them were like, I knew it. They were just like waiting to get an answer from me. Which I'm like, why did I tell everybody? Like, why was I so open about it? But honestly, I was just like, at this point, like, you know what? I think I'm pregnant. I'm probably not. It is what it is, you know? I do want to talk about this specific thing that I feel like I predicted my pregnancy, and it's gonna trip some people out. I'm also gonna go in detail why I thought I was having twins. So when my sister was like 3 months pregnant, no, she was probably even less, honestly, because she told like us, I think, sooner. So I had a dream that she was in labor and that I was pregnant while she was in labor, right? And in my dream, I just knew it was twins. Like, I just knew I was having twins. And I promise you guys, it's only one baby. They already checked. It's literally one baby. There's not a baby behind it hiding or anything. It's just one baby. But I had that dream, and I remember telling Karina in person about that dream, and I was like, can you imagine, like, I actually find out I'm pregnant when you're giving birth, I even kind of joked about it and I was like, watch, I'm gonna be pregnant. Like, I'm gonna be pregnant when you give birth. Like, guys, this is so crazy, but I have predicted random stuff without even like wanting to. Like, I think about certain things and they happen. I know it's crazy. I'm wrong a lot of the times because I was so sure that Karina was having a boy and I was wrong. But like, I have proved myself so many times where it's actually scary since I was like little. Like, my family knows this. I try not to think about it so much, but like sometimes I freak myself out. I'm like, girl, like, how did you know this? So me thinking, you know, I'm always predicting stuff and they happen. I was like, watch, like I was so confident about it. I'm like, Karina, I'm gonna get pregnant like when you start giving birth. Like, I'm gonna find out I'm pregnant. I just know it. Like, I just felt it. So Mia was actually born the 19th, April 19th. I found out I was pregnant April 20th. When I tell you I'm getting the chills, girl, I literally feel like I predicted this in my dream. Isn't that insane? So this whole time when I found out I was pregnant, you can imagine, I literally thought I was having twins. I'm like, okay, I already found out I'm pregnant. I just gotta find out I'm having twins. So obviously I took the pregnancy test the day after on 4/20, and that's when I found out, like, oh my god, I am pregnant. As soon as I had found out, I had to get myself together because I was like literally, I didn't even show you guys everything on my finding out video. I was a hot mess. Like, I was crying and everything. Well, I was showing you guys like me crying, but I was like hysterically sobbing. I really don't know how Brian didn't hear me, but I gathered myself together. I went to the room and I pretended like I was cleaning, and I really don't know how I did it, but that same night, literally an hour after, my brother calls me because he had made birria. So I was like, okay, I'll go over. And mind you, nobody knew, like not even Brian. And it was so hard to not say anything. And I remember that day too, I had like this mad headache. I was like, oh my god. Like, it was just so hard to act normal around people because I truly felt so crappy. I was like, that day he's like, so do you think you're pregnant? Like, what's going on? Have you taken a test? And I'm like, no, I haven't taken a test. I'm thinking like, why would I tell you if I took like, if I didn't tell my husband, why would I tell you? So whatever, y'all get the drill. I found out, you know, I'm pregnant. My entire first trimester was, you know, just nausea, and I wouldn't really throw up. In the beginning, I would just feel crappy. It was like morning sickness, but not in the morning. I would start feeling crappy around like 5 p.m. until I went to sleep. Literally, like I had to sometimes sleep it off. There was days where I would literally cry to Brian, like, I just want to feel normal. Like, even though I was so happy inside that I was pregnant, of course. And then I also felt like really fatigued. I would take a lot of naps. I was never like a big napper. Now I do. I kind of stopped. I feel like in the beginning, the first trimester, I would nap so much. And then the headaches started coming. I even remember filming a mukbang with Brian, and the comments, like, y'all were dragging me. Even when I watched the video before Brian posted it, I was like, girl, you were not having it. Like, even I was kind of like, oh my god, you are not okay. Okay, so I put on my lashes. I believe these are Seductive by Dream. Oh my god, I swear, this pregnancy brain. But they're from Birdie Lashes. Use code Myra for some % off. I think it's like 10 or 15%. I feel like these lashes are definitely it, girl. They look so pretty. Like I was saying, you know, my nausea was definitely there, but I feel like I wasn't really throwing up much. I just felt like sick. I really felt sick. So that's basically how my entire first trimester was. And then obviously I was getting like headaches and stuff. Also, another thing that I started noticing, I think at around 8 weeks, I was getting a lot of sciatic nerve pain, like in the back. Depending on how I would lay down or sit, I would literally like sometimes have to call Brian to get me out of the bed because I couldn't even walk to the restroom. And this was like at 8 weeks. Like, this started at 8 weeks, and every time I would Google it, it would say that it would start in the 2nd or 3rd trimester, and I'm like, why am I feeling like this? But Karina also told me that she had like the same thing where she was feeling that really early on. So I was like, okay, maybe it's normal. And it definitely would scare me because I'm like, am I gonna be on a wheelchair when I'm like further along? I think it would have been funny to vlog most of my experience for my first trimester. Like, I do think it would have been nice memories. Like, I think about it now, but also I remember in the moment, like, I was truly just trying to live in the moment. And then obviously I also didn't announce till I was 14 weeks because I feel like for the most part, a lot of people wait to get off the first trimester because I don't know if it's like 12 weeks or 13 weeks, but I've always noticed people wait. You know, obviously with my sister having the issues she had, it really scared me. I announced at 14 weeks because that was me and Brian's 12th year anniversary. So I'm like, oh my god, this day is perfect. I think if I was just announcing another day, I probably would have waited, just because it was like scary. I did have actually like a little scare literally last week, which I'll get into that a little later on, but it was just something I wanted to wait. And like I said, a lot of people do wait for like that reason in general, because I believe the rates of something happening do drop at about like 12-13 weeks if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, like family and friends I definitely told before, but when it came to announcing it publicly, like I didn't want anybody to know. In the first trimester, aside of, you know, feeling crappy, I feel like a lot of things like Coke Zero, which I'm either way trying to stay away from caffeine, but Coke Zero, anytime I did want to have some soda, which I know I'm not supposed to have it at all, which is why I thought maybe let me try Coke Zero, you know, because that's something I would drink before I was pregnant. I would take a couple sips and I just couldn't do it. Like, I try not to drink even a lot of juice or anything like that, but I just truly, like, the little times I would try to drink Coke Zero, I couldn't. Like, I truly was disgusted of the aftertaste of the artificial sugar. Another thing that I noticed a lot was I had major cravings for like cold food. I would just want like fresh stuff. I would not want anything hot, which is so weird because I've never been a picky eater. I literally will eat anything, girl. I've never been picky. And I became so picky in my pregnancy where I just wanted cold stuff like fruit, salads, like chicken sandwiches. I even like remember, because I love mole, and I just remember not wanting it because it was hot. Like, I don't know why. It was this weird thing. I feel like I'm out of that stage already. One of my biggest cravings was watermelon. Watermelon and mango. Sheesh. I actually stopped drinking it or eating it as soon as I found out my sugar, like they found sugar in my urine, which that's another thing that when I found out, I immediately stopped trying to like eat any sugars. And I need to actually go take the glucose test, the ones that they do like every 3 hours. I don't know if I haven't developed it yet, or immediately when they told me they had sugar in my urine, I freaked out and I started just in general eating healthier. The times I've checked my sugar, like it has not gone up where it's like concerning. I'm not sure if it was like that day because I had breakfast or of what I had ate. I need to figure out like what's going on, because my mom and Karina both got gestational diabetes. My mom would literally get it in every single pregnancy. So when they told me they found sugar in my urine, I wasn't shocked, but every time I check my blood, it doesn't go up above the normal. So I'm not sure like what's going on. In the meantime, like obviously, because I know I could probably develop it later, or who knows, maybe I haven't and I've just been able to control it. Like, I really don't know. I need to talk to my doctor about that. I try to just eat healthier overall. I eat a lot of like salads, veggies, and I really am trying to take care of myself more. It's funny because I wasn't really like a big like workout person before. I've never like working out. Like, I'll try to get into a routine, but it's never been my thing. Like, I really hate it. I just have never liked it. Even now that I'm actually trying to like work out and stuff, I just freaking hate it. So one of the things that I've been doing is I'm like trying to eat healthy. Like I said, I will still like, you know, have my bad food here and there. Obviously, you know, I am pregnant. I can't be too strict on myself. Obviously, if my doctor tells me like, girl, you have gestational diabetes, you need to start eating better, then I would completely 360 change my diet. But because they haven't told me anything yet, I'm just here like trying to eat healthy, but you know, if I have a craving, I'll eat some of it. And I believe with like gestational diabetes, like you can't do any of that. So that would immediately change, of course. But because I had that like scare, I have been trying to take care of myself. So my way of working out, I go on Spotify and I literally put Zapateado Encabronado and I just dance. And I try to dance for about like 30 to 40 minutes every night, and that's the only way that I can truly work out and actually like it, because I actually love dancing, have always loved it. I love it. So I even tell myself, I'm like, girl, I swear, if my baby don't like dancing, because I've been dancing this whole pregnancy. I'm trying to think about like any more symptoms I had in my first trimester. You know how I was telling you guys that I was like nauseous, but I would barely throw up. I probably like threw up like 2-3 times in my first trimester. It wasn't insane. I think it was just in general, just that really crappy feeling, just physically feeling like crap the whole day. And it's something that you couldn't even ignore. Like I literally had a couple times where I just broke down and I just wanted to feel normal. And there's really nothing you can do. You just kind of have to ride with it. And even for like headaches and stuff, I didn't really start taking Tylenol. Like I've literally only taken Tylenol twice. And it's been in my second trimester because in my second trimester, I've been having a lot of headaches and that has helped. But it's only been twice. Like I try to avoid it as much as possible, even though it is safe for pregnancy, you know, but I just try my best to not take it. Oh my god, you guys, my back is like actually, I never do my makeup in this room. I do my makeup in my beauty room, but that room is not the business right now. So I just want to get ready here. And then I feel like there's like better lighting right here. And I just have like no support on my back. So my back is like actually hurting. I'm just so excited. I'm 4 months today. Like, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but today, Monday, June 28th. I forgot to mention, I also had like a lot of breakouts in my first trimester. Like people say I'm glowing. I'm like, girl, where? Like I actually, my face is so textured. I have been breaking out. I feel like right now I just have a couple breakouts, but I have had like pimples. Like I had a pimple right here where like for weeks I felt like the bump was still there and it hurt so bad. But I have been breaking out, not as bad as the first trimester. So I don't know where this whole glowy thing is coming from. I'm like, I don't think I'm glowing. People have been telling me I also look different and I'm like, oh my god, really? I have been noticing my nose is getting like a little wider. I do feel like I have that pregnant look. All right, girl, let's go ahead and contour this face because I'm looking a little too round right now. I feel like a lot of the times women do change. They really do. It's crazy. People just sometimes look pregnant from their face. I can't explain it. I already feel like my face is like this. So for my second trimester, when I actually told you guys I was pregnant, I was actually thriving. Like once I hit my second trimester, I was like, oh my god, like you really do start feeling better. Because even though there's days that I actually have mad headaches, like it does not compare. I even started noticing I started throwing up more. Like I would say around like 12 weeks, 12 to 14 weeks, I was like throwing up. And I want to say at this point now, I have lost count of how many times I've thrown up. I feel like around week 14, my throwing up phase definitely calmed down. But I want to say from week 12 to 14, I just started throwing up out of nowhere. It was so weird. I could not keep my food down. Once I really announced, I was just like, I was feeling good. And I think it's because obviously of the excitement, people finally knowing. I even started noticing around week 13, I started feeling pregnant, actually feeling pregnant. Of course in the beginning, oh that's another thing I forgot to mention. Going back to the first trimester, guys, I'm sorry, it is what it is. In my first trimester, I got really bloated. I'm not sure when people start showing. I really do believe I was just bloated because in my first trimester, like I actually got really bloated. And that's also another reason why I thought I was having twins, because I would get so bloated. Like how my belly is right now at 4 months, it would be like that at like 8 weeks. I've noticed that that's something a lot of people get. Bloating is like super common and you will literally look like pregnant. That just made me think like, am I having twins? Like why am I so big? But the bloating went away. I want to say like at like 12 weeks it went away. I think I was like 13 weeks and a half when I did my shoot, my pregnancy announcement, and I all of a sudden I started showing again. And that's when I really thought, I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually showing, because I was supposed to do pictures with the ultrasound even days before that. I just started feeling like really pregnant, and I remember even the photographer was like, oh my god, you can actually tell you're pregnant, like how have you been hiding it? And I was like, girl, like I just started showing. And I really thought it was like all baby. I'm like, there's no way, like I'm already in my second trimester. And tell me why I went back to not having anything. And I was like, girl, don't tell me like that was just all bloat. And a lot of people actually told me that's normal. There's days where you're not gonna look pregnant at all. There's days where it's like, whoa, where did you come from? I don't know, as of today that I'm 4 months, I truly feel like I am showing. I'll definitely show you guys my belly once I'm ready, but I really do feel like I'm showing already. And even though it's a little bit, I don't know, let me know how long do you guys think the bloating goes on for, like actual bloating instead of like the baby. Okay, I need to contour my nose, you guys. Something my mom always told us since we were little. She would tell us how her nose would get bigger with kids. Karina also in her pregnancy, her nose se le hinchó poquito. And I think that's what's happening to me. My skinny days, my nose is definitely smaller, but girl, I haven't seen those skinny days in years. Okay, so I actually, in the beginning, I was eating so much. I really was careless, honestly, of what I ate because I'm like, I'm pregnant. Like, I was doing the most. I just started feeling bigger. It did scare me when I started noticing that I was like gaining more weight, which obviously it comes with pregnancy, but I just know that I'm like overweight and I'm just like, oh my God, am I gonna like blow up even more? I know I wasn't taking care of myself as I should have. I know I'm naturally going to gain weight with a pregnancy, but I'm actually back to zero. Oh, we love our skinny. I'm just kidding. No, I'm back to like what I was before I got pregnant. So I went from gaining weight in the beginning to now like losing it and just being back to like if I'm not pregnant. I know that when you are like on the bigger side in general, you naturally, at least from what I've heard, a lot of pregnant women that are like a little overweight, they usually will lose weight. And I mean, I haven't lost weight. I'm just back to how I was before pregnancy, but I also feel like my face looks like full, like my nose is getting like thicker and stuff. Obviously, you know, your body goes through all these changes, but that is one thing I noticed. I'm like, wait, I'm literally back to zero. But like I was saying, I think I'm showing now for sure though, the teeniest bit, but it is definitely there. I really want to get that pregnancy pillow. I mean, I'm still sleeping really comfortable. Obviously, I don't want to sound over dramatic because I'm only 4 months, but I know in the future when I'm like in my 3rd trimester, I've heard it's really difficult to sleep and there comes a point where you're uncomfortable any position. So I do want to get that like pregnancy pillow. I also really want to know when you guys started feeling your baby move for the first time. And I also actually, before I get to that, I do want to talk about something really important that I did not talk about at all, and I believe this happened at 15 weeks. Yeah, I literally had just turned, oh my God, this was the day after Father's Day. I woke up that morning. You know, every time I go to the restroom, anytime you see nothing, it's kind of like a relief, right? So, you know, it was like every other morning I woke up, went to the restroom, and I saw blood. Oh my God, when I tell you my heart sank to my, I just remember I was like, Brian, it was really, really early in the morning because I mean, I wake up already so many times at night. I already had woken up a few times before. That morning at 7 a.m. I wiped and I was like, Brian! He immediately knew what was happening because obviously he could just hear the tone of my voice. I just could not believe this was happening. I thought it was the beginning of like, you know, I don't even like to say the word of how like, ugh, it scares me. And I told him, I'm like, I have blood on my paper. Brian has been so calm with my pregnancy. A lot of the times if I'm just feeling off or anything, he's just been so like super just like helpful, and that time it just really showed me how positive he is because I was thinking the worst. He was actually really calming me down. He's like, Myra, like we had an intercourse the night before. You know, he was like on Google telling me, he's like, it's not a lot. You know, it's probably because of that. And I was just freaking out. And I was actually freaking out because I remember on Father's Day, I was having stronger cramps than usual. But again, I just thought like I'm overthinking it. So that morning, that's all I could think about. I was like, I had really horrible cramps yesterday and now I'm bleeding. So whatever, we call and I tell them what's going on. And they're telling me like, are you filling up so and so many pads, you know, every other hour? Are you feeling this? Are you feeling that? Just telling me all these things that I was not feeling. That kind of put me a little bit at ease. So I ended up going to urgent care because they told me that they were gonna give me a call back. They were gonna have my doctor call me back. And I was like, I'm not even gonna wait. In that moment, I can't even describe it. I was not gonna wait a couple hours for my doctor to call me. I was not about that life. I was like, we need to go to urgent care now. So we pull up to the hospital and I'm just there like texting my brother, texting my sister. I had just turned 15 weeks and I was like, this can't be happening. Like I was so excited that I was turning 15 weeks. I get there, they take my blood pressure, just all that stuff. They weigh me, etc. They do blood work and then they sent me to get an ultrasound. So as I was waiting to get my ultrasound, oh my God, you can imagine. That was the one thing I was just scared of. I'm like, the ultrasound is gonna confirm if there's anything happening. I'm laying down and right away, like the baby's there. She's like, you're not 15 weeks, your baby's measuring like 13 weeks. I'm already freaking out. And she's like, I'll be back. And then I'm telling Brian, because I couldn't really see the screen. Brian was like, well, the baby's like moving. I'm like, are you sure the baby's moving? She comes back and I tell her, like, my doctor told me the last time I was here, I told her, the last time I was here, my doctor told me I was 12 weeks and I think 3 days. And that was a few weeks ago at that time. So I was like, no, I'm actually, today's Monday, I'm marking 15 weeks today. She's like, well, let me go ahead and measure it. So she's like measuring the baby. And she's like, oh, okay. So you're not 13 weeks. It's measuring about 14 weeks and so many days. But I was like, so does the baby have a heartbeat? She's like, oh, of course, the baby's fine. I don't even know if she knows like what I was in there for, to be honest. I was like, I just came in here because I was like bleeding and I was scared. And she's like, your baby's completely fine. So there we are walking back and I'm like thriving. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I went through this scare. Like my baby's okay. My poor baby had to go through this stress with me. Why am I gonna cry? I literally, so dramatic. It really puts like everything into perspective, and I really just had a moment. It made me be really appreciative that my baby was okay. I was so happy, and it just made me feel really bad that I'm like, why did I put myself through that stress? My baby's not gonna feel that stress. The lady basically came into a conclusion like, look, your baby's completely fine. The heart rate, I think the heart rate was like at 150. So I was like, okay, or was it at 140? I think it was 140. And she did come into the conclusion. She was like, look, with pregnancy, you know, with intercourse, you can sometimes, like, I guess the uterus or cervix. Oh my God, why do I confuse those a lot? Their cervix is, you know, more sensitive. And then obviously my mom ended up finding out because I think my brother or sister told her. So now my mom was like all worried. My dad was like, he was so cute. I was on the call because as soon as I came back from the hospital, I took like the longest nap. I guess my parents were trying to get a hold of me and they didn't really even know yet exactly what was going on. So I'm on the phone with my mom and she's like, ¿Qué pasó? My dad's like, he's so cute. He was like, ¿Cómo está, bebé? Like, he sounded so concerned. I'm like, did nobody tell them that I'm fine? My parents were probably freaking out. I felt so bad. I was like, no, everything's fine. Like, sorry, I knocked out as soon as I got home. I'm gonna do my lips really quick. Okay, so it looks like I'm done with my makeup. I'm actually going to do my hair and I'll be back and talk to you guys a little bit more about my gender reveal planning, which I'm so excited about. I feel like the video might be long, but it's a lot of updating I have to do, you guys, because, you know, I feel like I haven't talked to you guys like present time. So I'll be right back. I just did my hair really fast, girl, because I'm trying to beat this sun. I thought I was gonna start getting ready at 2 p.m. Then I started till 4 p.m. because I had to eat. My back was hurting. Had to take a lot of breaks, girl. I still want to talk to you guys a little bit more, obviously. So my gender reveal is actually July 10. But the theme is so cute. Some of you guys have already guessed it and I'm just so freaking excited. Let me know what team you guys are in. I've seen a lot of Team Boy from the beginning, and it's funny because even before I announced to you guys, I had very much like boy vibes, and then Brian's been getting boy vibes too, but Brian recently had a dream that it was a girl, and I actually recently also had a dream that it's a girl, so I'm like, can I be wrong? I did have like 2 dreams already that it was a boy, but now I'm dreaming that it's a girl. I'm like, oh my God, let me find out. And everybody thinks it's a boy, so I don't know, you guys, but I'm super excited for the gender reveal. I am team healthy baby, whatever it is, but let me know what team you're in. What do you think it is? I am so freaking excited, you guys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else to update you guys. I want to show you guys the belly. Let me show you the belly. Let me see if I can get up because I'm literally like on the floor. I feel like you can't tell what's going on. Okay. Oh my God, it's like not focusing on me.
Oh my God.
So this is the belly, you guys. Everybody's telling me I'm carrying low. I feel like I'm carrying high. I'm not sure, but I feel like this is definitely, oh. But that is the belly. I feel like it's not showing so much, especially now that I'm wearing black. I'm telling you, sometimes it looks bigger. The day that I announced when I went to have our anniversary dinner, you guys are gonna see that vlog. Like, I feel like I look bigger that day than I look right now, which is weird, but I guess that's just how it is. early pregnancy. But you guys, I think we are good to go with this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this like update video. I'm hoping my next one will be the gender predictions video because our gender reveal is coming up and me and Brian really want to do the gender predictions. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I do want to say thank you so freaking much to everybody that has been just so positive and just so supportive, so sweet, sending me so many messages, and y'all are just so sweet. My baby is so loved already, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for being so freaking kind. Hopefully I updated you guys with everything I needed to. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.